Right, good morning guys. So my name is Chris and I'm a full-time eBay reseller. What that means I do is I go buy stuff physically in person, either auctions, car boots, charity shops, warehouses, wherever, and then I flog it on eBay, hopefully for a profit. Now recently I had something happen and I can't help but feel like it was a scam. And I'm not 100% sure. I think now me and the guy have had a lot of messages that have gone back and forth, and I do mean a lot. I'm starting to believe more. If you do hear my kids, do apologise. They're both sort of playing with their toys. We've just been to the car boot and they've got a lot of toys, so they're interested in them. But it's relevant to the point. So I recently had a transaction on eBay that did not exactly end up going my way, and have a sneaking suspicion that I was scammed. And if I wasn't scammed, and this legitimately isn't a scam, I'm going to put it out there for people to watch out for and how to avoid it, because it is a scam that you could run. It is genuinely, there's a scam there that you could run. Now, this might be something that people have known about for years and done for years. It might not be, I don't know. It's the first time I've come across it, so I wanted to put it on YouTube so that you guys can hopefully avoid it. So what happened was, I sold a printer. I might put some screenshots up as we go, guys, across a lot of this. It was an Epson printer, it was £50, irrelevant. I sold it. If you don't know, any wireless printers I get, I test wirelessly. We put that in the description that we test our printers wirelessly, not wired. So I don't actually know if the wired connection would work, but my sort of assumption is if it works wirelessly, it should work wired. That obviously doesn't always guarantee that that's true. But anyway, printer went, didn't think anything of it. 20 days passed. I think we actually got to like day 22 since it was delivered. Got a message saying the printer doesn't work, that they've had their friend come round to connect it, who's good with computers and fixes them for a living. Couldn't get it connected, sent me the problem. Well, I'd like to return the printer. He said, however, I'm not able to print a label, so I won't be able to send it back via the normal return policy. Shh. So I went, yeah, that's no problem. Just to make you aware, the normal returns policy does dictate that you can either print the label at home, or you get sent a link. Well, you get sent two links. One, to print the label at home. Two, to take the link to the post office, print off a QR code, and they will print the label and send it to me. Bit more back and forth, a lot of back and forth. I don't think he got the concept that he was able to do it. Says he's not very computer literate, etc., etc. Loads of things like that. And that he wanted to send it off his own back personally. He contacted eBay. They told him that the time window he had under that return that he'd opened was shrinking. He got really worried and concerned. Again, guys, this is like... this is what I'm getting relayed, and at this point I've got no reason to not believe him. So I'm like, okay, you can send it back, but you void your insurance. He's like, what do you mean? I went, if the package gets lost, if it gets stolen, if it gets damaged, you are responsible with the courier to claim it back. Now, that actually isn't true. This is what I thought in my head was, when I ship a parcel, if it gets lost, damaged or whatever, I'm responsible for that. I have to refund my buyer and then claim back on the courier. So I just basically told him that's what he'd have to do. Said, yes, there's no problem, I accept all that liability. This is where I got a bit concerned. Not concerned, but that should have been a red flag to me. At this point, he's asked me for my address 3 times, I refused to give it to him. At that point, when he said, I accept liability, no problem, here you go, here's my address. Shh. Rayran, kids, shh. Or daddy will move into another room. I'm going to walk and talk, guys, because of my kids. So, anyway, we've then turned around and gone, right, yes, here's our address. We sent it to him. Now, me being me, I went, that'll be fine. He's gone, and he said, right, I'm shipping it to you tomorrow. I'm going to spend £20 on shipping, and he did. I confirmed that with the label. I genuinely know he spent £20 on the shipping to get it here, special delivery, next day, all that sort of thing. So it comes back, cardboard box. No bubble wrap, no wrapping, no nothing. Now, if you don't know how we ship our items, I've got sold videos out there. I actually show you how to ship a printer. Now, it's come back. I've opened it, and the first thing I can see is no protection. Like, this is not a good start. Now, look, one of the latches is clear as day snapped. So then, taking it out, and as I've lifted it out, the whole top piece of the printer's come off, and I've gone in it, and there's no power cable. I've checked it further after, no ink. So I've messaged him like, there's no power cable, there's no ink, and it's smashed to pieces. What do you want me to do? Accusations start flying. I've broke it, I've done this, I've done the other. I'm like, I haven't done nothing to it. Why would I do it? Because I could sell it as spares. Do you know what I mean? It's a £50 printer. There's a market for spares and repairs at £20 to £30. Plus, if I wanted to be a real anal, if I want to be really anal, all I'd do is I would just reconnect this because it's still connected to my phone. Test it that way. And if it connects wirelessly, I can actually be really anal with you and I can say, actually, this is how you bought that printer. It no longer works. For whatever reason, that is on you. But either way, 2 days go by, I don't think about it because I basically said to him, this is what happens. Now you have to go through Royal Mail. Here's photos, here's all the evidence you need. 2 days pass, £50 leaves my account. I'm like, the hell? Wrong eBay. I'm like, what's going on here? Oh yeah, well we've had to pay him back because the item was delivered. I'm like, yeah, but when it's smashed to pieces, I've sent all this evidence. So I've done a bit of back and forth with eBay saying, well, what do you want me to do? I went, he can keep the 50 quid, but I've got shed loads of, not shed loads, I said, when just this year I've got about £500 to £750 worth of claims I want to put in with you. They're like, what for? Like the amount of parcels that have been lost by Yodel, Royal Mail, Parcel Force, all them. I went, I had one stack of golf clubs that was worth 120 quid. Lost this year alone. So he can keep the 50, but I'm going to claim off you then because I must have the policy wrong. I thought if I sent off my own back, nah. And this is where the scammy bit comes in, guys. Okay, so if they use the label provided via eBay or via us through eBay, we're both covered under eBay's insurance policy. If they send the parcel back and they do it off their own back, they are still covered under the purchase agreement. I am no longer covered under the delivery charge. eBay will not take responsibility for that delivery back to me. So my printer's come back smashed up and I don't have insurance with eBay anymore because they have chosen not to follow eBay's policy. Now where I say this is a scam, guys, and I did have a quick look online, is what you can do, right? Now hear me out. Is you can go and buy a printer like he did. I'm going to act as if I did this scam. So I go buy a printer. I'm £50 down. Then I get the printer and I say it's not working. I'd like to return it under eBay's money back guarantee, which stretches to 90 days. I'm allowed to return it because it's broke. So then I say to you, this is how it happened. I'm not very good with things like this. So I'm going to ship it off my own back. Can I have your address? If he was clever, he could have actually got my address off the label because there's a return to. But you send it off your own back. And what you do is you keep the inks and you keep the power cable because the inks were worth about 30, 40 quid. The power cable's worth about £5. That's twofold there. Now, we do, you pack it so that it 100% will get damaged on the return journey. This one got smashed to pieces. Now when it arrives back, say it's not smashed enough to not work, I've got 48 hours to check that printer before I have to refund him. He's got the power cable and the inks. So either I've got to run out and spend a load of money on new inks, particularly on that printer, because that printer won't connect unless you have inks in it. But I've got to then run out and buy the inks, or I've got to get the power cable, or he has to agree to send me back those parts and I need to get them within 48 hours. That doesn't really happen. So those 48 hours go, he gets refunded, which is what happened in my case. So now he spent £20 getting the item to me. So just so you guys are aware so far, he's bought the printer. He's then got his money back from eBay for that printer. He's now £20 down on the postage. But if he sells the inks, or just keeps them, he's either saved or sold, let's say £30 worth of ink, keeps or sells the power cable, £5. So he's plus £35 so far. Anybody know what you're going to do next? He's got the receipt. He's got the proof of postage. So what he's going to do is he's going to ring Royal Mail and he's going to go, hi there, I sent this printer via yourselves. You've absolutely decked it. You smashed it to pieces. I'd like to put a claim in. And then they're going to pay him £50 for the printer and they're going to refund the £20 shipping. So he's plus, let's say on the inks 30, let's say on the cable 5, let's say on the printer 50. So 50, 60, 70, 80, £85 plus on that. and he's voided my insurance. I actually, genuinely, right, I've had to ring eBay a few times. I think they've got an amazing team. But I spoke to somebody, nothing we can do. All we can do is refund the £3.50 or whatever it was label that he didn't use. And I was like, well, don't I get that back anyway if it's not used? I went, yeah, you get that back in about 2 more days. So see, you're not doing anything for me then. Got put through to the supervisor. She's like, look, I don't really know what I can do other than send an email to the main manager of my department because he's voided your insurance. I'm like, do you realise how stupid of a scam this actually is? You're telling me because he hasn't followed your returns policy like I've advised him to in the messages, I've got void insurance. So yeah. Nothing. They said they'd be back 5:30. Then I rung them at 6 and I went, look, I just need to know what's going on because either I'm putting these claims in because the way I looked at it was if he ships it off his own back and they cover him, when I ship off my own back, I should be covered by them. It's that simple. Turns out they didn't like that approach. With eBay, like, I do try my best to be kind and all that, but I do sometimes get my hair off. They are really, really amazing. Honestly, they are, guys. Customer service, so if you never ring them when you need to, they will sort things out. I got my money back. And one was like, this is daft, but yeah. Apparently, they also are aware of this scam, she told me. And there's nothing they can do about it other than advise sellers to not give out their personal details. As in, do not let people ship it back like that. But in a nutshell, guys, that's what the scam actually is. Now, the only piece of advice I can give you to avoid it is do not give people out your address. So they have to use the returns label provided, the QR code, and that is it. Now, like I say, guys, a lot of people might be aware of this. A lot of people might say, you know, we don't do that anyway. We don't, you know, it's fairly common sense. I fell for it because it was under the act of guise of an old man that's struggling and had to get somebody around to help him connect what should be a very, very simple connection with a printer. So it does happen. But that's it from me today, guys. I got my money back. Okay, just be aware of it. But do me a favour, guys. Like the video and subscribe for more, and hopefully I'll see you on the next one.